All right. Your thoughts in response to a situation or event mostly determine your emotional state, right? So your thoughts in a situation will determine your emotional state. So your thinking about a situation will affect your feelings, right? This is the same thing that we talk about in relapse prevention group and when we talk about addictive thinking and sober thinking, right? Your thoughts affect or influence your feelings, right? So here's some key points here. Destructive thoughts are typically so automatic and subtle that you are aware of them or how they affect your moods, right? You respond without being aware of what you told yourself, right? So the destructive thoughts become so automatic because you do them so often and so much that you just don't even question them anymore. It kind of becomes a part of who you are. Number two is destructive thoughts often appear in coded form. One short word or image may contain a whole series of thoughts or memories or associations, right? The third one is destructive thoughts are often irrational, right? But almost always believed to be true. For example, catastrophizing what if thinking leads you to expect a negative outcome, one that is highly unlikely to occur. Yet because the destructive thought is sent so rapidly, it goes unchallenged, right? So you think that they're true even though they're irrational. And then just as you can replace unhealthy behavior habits, such as smoking or drinking alcohol, with more positive, healthy promoting behavior, you can also replace unhealthy thinking with more positive, supportive mental thoughts, right? So that's the best part of this, is that if you engage in destructive thoughts, you can change it, right? It's just basically learned behavior, and any kind of learned behavior can be changed, right? So here are some typical destructive thoughts. I should always be generous and unselfish. I should be perfect. I should be able to endure any hardship. I should be able to find a quick solution to every problem. I should never feel tired or lazy. I should always be efficient. I should always be competent. I should never be angry or irritable. I should always be pleasant or nice no matter how I feel. I am powerless or helpless. I am a victim of circumstances. I am unworthy. I'm not good enough. I feel ashamed of my condition. I'm nothing unless I'm loved. I feel personally threatened when criticized. I don't have the money to do what I really want. There is seldom enough time to do what I want. Life is very difficult. It's a struggle. If things are going well, watch out. I don't deserve to be successful or happy. It's useless to bother. My condition is hopeless. There is something fundamentally wrong with me. If I take risks to get better, I'm afraid I'll fail. If I take risks to get better, I'm afraid I'll succeed. If I recovered, I might have to deal with realities I'd rather not face. I can't stand being separated from others. It's very hard to be alone. What others think of me is very important. It's important to please others. People won't like me if they see who I really am. I need to keep up a front or others will see my weaknesses. My accomplishments at work or school are extremely important. Success is everything. I have to be the best at what I do. I have to be somebody really outstanding. To fail is terrible. I can't rely on others for help. I can't receive from others. If I let people get too close, I'm afraid of being controlled. I can't tolerate being out of control. I'm the only one who can solve my problems. I'm just the way I am. I can't really change. The world outside is a dangerous place. Unless you worry about a problem, it just gets worse. It's risky to trust people. My problems will go away on their own time. So that's a lot of examples of different types of destructive thoughts. And I'm sure that every single one of you can identify with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of those. And you've probably bought into those destructive thoughts, right? And so what happens is when you begin to buy into them, it kind of creates a part of your personality, right? And so you're taking a destructive thought that is not rational, that is unhealthy, and it becomes a part of our personality, right? And so they begin to create patterns of destructive thinking in our lives, right? And so the first one is the pessimist, right? The pessimist has a destructive thinking personality type found in most people prone to negativity, right? This person is always negative. They always see the negative in everything, right? They always anticipate negative outcomes. They have a fear of the future. They tend to catastrophize, right? And they are forever hyper vigilant, watching with concern for signs of trouble, right? So they're hyper vigilant about the future, right? They're hyper vigilant about any sign of trouble, right? So instead of what if, you can say, so what, right? Yeah. So what, I got a bad grade. So what, I got a U on my room check today. So what, right? I can handle this. I can be anxious and still do this. This may be daunting, but I can tolerate a little anxiety knowing that it will pass, right? I'll get used to this with practice, and I can retreat if necessary. So those are kind of some of the things that you can do to battle the pessimist in yourself, right? The next personality type is the fault finder. Fault finders have a destructive thinking personality type that is constantly judging and evaluating their own behavior, pointing out any flaws or limitations that they may have, right? So you're constantly looking for all of your flaws and all of your failures inside of you, right? And in your life, right? In order to portray inadequacy or failure, the fault finder pounces on any mistakes. The fault finder typically uses comparison to bolster their own sense of self. You should have gotten an A on that paper like Sally, but at least you did better than Bob. He only got a C minus. You could have done better is a phrase familiar to the fault finder, right? So instead of engaging in the fault finder, you can say, I'm okay with the way that I am. You accept yourself. You understand that you're not, that no one's perfect and that we all have flaws, and that hey, I'm okay with that, right? I'm lovable and capable. I'm unique and creative. I'm a unique and creative person. I deserve the good things in life as much as anyone else. I accept and believe in myself. I'm worthy of others' respect. I've done as well as I could for now, right? All right. The next personality type is the victim.